Mr. Reuter of Atlanta says, I want to work with you guys. I need some help. Great. So we go and we spend like 60 days understanding his business, working with him, setting expectations, teaching him how advertising works so that we're all on the same page, developing the message, understanding who his target is, etc. And we decide on radio for a couple of reasons for this individual. And when we do, we write the script, which he then reads and changes. We rewrite it, and he reads and changes it a second time. We rewrite it, and he reads and tweaks it the third time, but then approves it. We then cut the commercial. He listens to it, wants to change it. We recut the commercial. He wants to change it again. We cut the commercial again, and finally, he approves it. All right? You get the picture? Sound familiar to anybody? So finally, we get the guy. He's ready to go. He likes the commercial. And he gets all his people together. He gets the Times report from the radio station. He knows when it's going to air. So it's going to air at 7:21 a.m. Monday morning, morning drive on the news talk station in town. He's very excited. He gets all his salespeople to come in, all his technicians to come in, all the sports staff to come in an hour early so they can all crowd around the radio like it's 1939 and listen to the ad. At 7:23, this is the phone call I get. And at 7:23, I listen to the message, and this is the message. Josh, it's Bob. Yeah, it's Bob the plumber, by the way. And his name really is Bob, and he really is a plumber. Josh, it's Bob. You've got to call me. It's an emergency. Like, oh my God. It's an emergency. He's having a heart attack, and he called me instead of 911. I got to get right over there. Bob, what's wrong? He said, we have made a terrible mistake. A terrible mistake. I don't know how this happened. You should have caught it. What's wrong with, what's going on? I said, well, slow down. What's the problem? He said, no sooner did the ad run, and everybody's listening, everybody's gathered around the radio, like it's 1939, and my sales manager says, Bob, where's the phone number? And he goes, oh my God. He goes, I look like a fool. He said, I got to call Josh. We got to stop that ad. So he said, you got to pull that ad, get the phone number dubbed in, recut, whatever you got to do. You got to get on that right now. I said, okay, Bob, I'll tell you what. Give me a minute, and if at the end of this phone call you still want to put the phone number in, you're the client, I'll absolutely do that for you. It'll take a day. We'll stop the commercials today and probably tomorrow by the time it's all said and done. But we'll pick back up on Wednesday with the phone number in the ad. He said, great, go make that happen. I got to run. I said, no, you said you give me until the end of the phone call. He said, how long will it take? I said, give me 3 minutes. He said, fine, 3 minutes. But let's hurry up. I want you to change that ad. Got it. He said, I just want to make sure I understand what we're putting the phone number in for. He said, seriously, is this the conversation we're going to have? I said, yeah, I'm just confused. That maybe I missed something. Because remember, he'd seen the ad 3 times in writing and heard it 3 times. The phone number was never in there. And we discussed this. You ever have clients like this? You have one conversation, and 2 weeks later, it's like you never had the conversation? There's Bob. I said, Bob, tell me which scenario the phone number is for. So I get up this morning. My kids clog the toilet. They flush it 100 times, and the water with the poopy flows over the toilet. And I look at it, and I go, that's going to be a mess. Later today, I'm going to have to get on that. And I leave the house and go to work. On the way to work, I hear your ad. And I think to myself, thank you, God. This is unbelievable. Thank you so much. So I rip off a piece of the Wall Street Journal sitting on the front seat next to me. I reach under the seat for that nebulous pin that's always under there. I pull over out of traffic, because God forbid I actually write or text in traffic. And I write down the number. And when I get to work, I call him right away. I said, is that who the phone number's for? The person needs you right now? He said, no, and if you're going to be a smart ass, we can just end this call right now. I said, well, I didn't mean disrespect. I'm just wondering, is it for the person that needs it right now? He said, no, because they need it right now. They would have already called me. Nobody's going to leave the house with the toilet overflowing. So the damage it would do, and the stink and the mess, you're not going to leave your house for 12 hours with the toilet overflowing. When there's a plumbing problem, you need emergency right now. Right now. Nobody waits. I said, right, so it's not for them. He goes, no. Can you change the phone number now? Your 3 minutes is almost up. I said, no, just one more. So let's say nothing happens this morning, and I get in the car and I drive to work. And I hear your ad at 7:21 a.m. on the news talk, and I'm so moved by this deeply emotional message that we have created for you, this story that we tell on air about how great Bob the plumber is, that I pull over, rip a corner off the Wall Street Journal, reach under the seat for the nebulous pin, write down your phone number, stick it in my pocket, go to my meetings, have my day, have my conference calls, have that nice client lunch I've been looking forward to. Do a couple brainstorming sessions, come home, take kids to the park, have dinner, give them a bath, put them to bed. As I'm unloading my pockets, I go, oh, honey, This guy, you ever have a plumbing problem? This is the guy to call. I'm just going to put that right up here on the refrigerator. Is that who it's for? He said, that was dumber than the first one. Now go put the phone number in the ad. I said, I think I missed something. He said, I think I missed something. I said, I think I missed something. He said, what are we talking about? I said, well, I don't know. What are we talking about? He said, what are you doing here? It's not Abbott and Costello. I said, I missed. He said, it's the phone number not for the people now that need it right now, and it's not for the people who don't need it right now. Is there a third group I've missed? Is there some sort of other thing? He said, exactly. Keep the ad on. Call you later. And hung up.